Just Yelp feed mine.
All right. I'm sorry about that. Come on back in. Just had you see I'm still trying to learn what is happening here, but we are going to have again some guests, and if you want to, we'll have some fans come on. If you want somebody to, thank you, Dominic. If you want to uh, come on, let me see. I was trying to, the videos. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can get this going here.
I'm like
Dominic Robinson. That was a great game there in Biloxi. Didn't I mean I wish I could have saw. I have to watch the.
No, I didn't see it level up yet. This is like really close. Wait.
I have to watch the replays.
This is 30. This
of
is
it
30.
From the news.
This is 30.
But you had some great videos. I was trying to find the videos.
But you have to get it to 15. Are y'all trying to get it to 15 or buy the saddle? Are y'all trying to get to 15? Buy the saddle.
Let's see if. Anyways, Dominic. Yeah, it was. I understand. It was hard to. So as far as the trying to send.
If I can trade a freaking newbie sword for a raptor, dude. Bro, I could trade a freaking newbie swords to a megalodon. Megalodon.
All right. So, anyways, a great win again in the 7A class with Gulfport stopping Ocean Springs 25 straight region wins. Ocean Springs now again will go to D'Iberville next week. Gulfport, hopefully they won't have a letdown. Sometimes that may happen, but they are going on the road to St. Martin, who just took off the Biloxi Indians. So that was good there, 28-24. Macomb defeats Poplarville 35-34. Pass Christian, a great road win there at Greene County, 28-24. Raylan Shoulders, I'm saying that right, he scored a touchdown. Cecil Lazana, if I'm saying that right, scored a touchdown. It was 14-14 at halftime. Oh, you are at golf.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm buying the saddle.
Boy, I tell you.
So I can't.
So St. Martin is going to Gulfport. Why is my... Yes, they are. So St. Martin is going to Gulfport. That's even better for Gulfport.
Or should I just start trading?
Of course, playing at home, but then, of course, they,
not trade this, but
did lose or have lost the two home games that they played. Of course, Picayune with that second interception as they were going in for the winning score, the go-ahead score against Picayune. That did not happen. That's what it happens. And then they lost pedal late there on that field goal. As far as how to send the videos, I'm still trying to figure out on this, which I will have to figure out to be able to show the videos. Let me see. I could share the screen. Let me see.
Jason, I have this. I also have this too, Jason. Jason, look away. Turn your head. Turn your head. Turn your head.
So I'm going to. Let Let me see.
Turn your head.
Okay, that's my. Let me see if this will work. I don't know. This is what Dominic had. Let me see.
Sheldon.
Okay.
No.
Bear with me. Bear with me. I knew Gulfport was better than their record. They played, some, again, in Picayune. They really should have beat them. They had them there at the end of the game. And then they were Laurel. They beat Laurel on the road. Petal. They gave up that late 2-point conversion when they scored. They went for 2. Then they had a field goal chance. It was just wide right. Then they, defeated a depleted Pascagoula team that's still going to be good to make the playoffs. That is the Panthers. So, yes, Gulfport, to come in and get the win was pretty good there. We're going to show a play here from Dominic from the – I don't know if you can hear it or not. I'm fixing to play it. But the Biloxi St. Martin game. So that was a great tip play. Tip drill, and Biloxi was able to get the touchdown there. And then they were down. So now they're going to go. For the onside kick. That was the onside kick that Biloxi recovered. They were coming back. Biloxi was coming back there. And let me see here. That might have been the final play there. Dominic would have to get that. But I do want to show you the one. Of Crockett right there. That was nice. Now I can't see my screen when I'm showing the videos. So I don't know if you could hear it or if that worked. I'm trying to figure out a better way to share the videos like that. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, or really see it. I've expanded it. When I do, I can't see the comments on here. But now that I'm reading the Warriors, yes, Ramsey, they are definitely the real deal there. As again, I was watching that game, and even the announcers, I said it at halftime when it came on, that West Harrison was passing more than what they normally do. So maybe they were trying to something different. Obviously, it was something different for them to be passing more against D'Iberville. Then so the opening drive, 14 yards. Harvey went in for the touchdown for D'Iberville. They missed the extra point, and then the Warriors went for it on their own. I got it written 25-yard line. They went for it on a 4th down, and that's kind of I don't know, to get you're up just 6-0 and you go for it on 4th down at your own 25. He didn't get it. Warriors did not get it, but then they turned around and West Harrison threw in an interception. So again, threw an interception, and normally run the ball majority of the time, but the Warriors defense are certainly the real deal there. And then Jalen Johnson went in and they tried for 2 points. They did not get it. 12-0 at halftime. West Harrison did. They went for it on the 33-yard line, on their own 33-yard line, and did not get it on a 4th down. The Warriors were able to get another score, 19-20, to nothing. And then finally, West Harrison, number 3, Sean Fairley, his 4th of the season for West Harrison, did get the score. And then Jordan Wally capped it off 25-7. Warriors did get the win tonight. Curious to see what Stapleton's number is. A great player there. He's on the All-Star team for the South for Bernard Blackwell. You know, yes, he should have some stars by his name. He's a great player. He's a great. We just had WXXV player of the week. So, and he's smart. I mean, he's a great player, and he's smart there off the field too. So, Gula versus Pascagoula next week. Who do you got? Right now, I know they're playing in Pascagoula. Picayune was off. Both teams were off. So both teams had an extra week to prepare for that game. I don't know how injured, if the quarterback's coming back for Pascagoula. I'm not in their locker room. He hasn't played in a few weeks. They had Loper in there, who made the All-Star team. They had Loper in at quarterback. Loper's a defensive guy, but you can see he's an athlete because he played quarterback. And so right now, I'm going to lean toward Picayune winning. Do I have a score? I don't have a score. What I would pick on that Picayune at Pascagoula next week. You also have Long Beach at Gaucher, PRC at Hancock. Again, a lot of teams that were off tonight. You know, Picayune was off, Gaucher is off, PRC was off, Vancleave, George County, Pascagoula, East Central, Harrison Central were off next week. Tonight. So next week, 16 games. There are 2 teams that are off next week. The Coast Top 10, who won and who lost. I posted that on there, and I appreciate it, Sam, for that comment there. The number 1 team, Ocean Springs, did lose. Let me see if I can bring up the top 10 that I just posted on there. And we'll read it off there together. Again, we're going to be having a couple guests come on here very shortly. So please post your comments. Thank you for joining us here at Coast Football Post Game. So let me share this tab. Again, I'm learning this right here on, and I don't know if you can read that screen. This is the Facebook page, but you can see right there, Ocean Springs lost. The Iberville second-ranked team won. West Harrison lost to who? The second-ranked team. Picayune was off. Gulfport won against the number 1 team. Poplarville lost by 1 point to at Macomb. Pass Christiana did win at Greene County, a great win for the Pirates. St. Martin won at Biloxi. Gaucher was off. PRC was off. And the teams that you don't see, we rank all the teams. We only just put the top 10. Vancleave was right there at 11th. Biloxi was at 12th. George County, Pascagoula, those teams were off. Stone was 15th. So is anybody going to jump in the top 10 that's right outside the line? Stone County, you know, taking out St. Stanislaus, but the Rockachaws, you know, were shut out 106 or so the last 2 games to nothing. So that's not a marquee win there. It was for Stone, it was, because they got shut out last week against George County. So, that was the final play that went into the end zone that nobody was kind of around. Yeah, that was, I mean, give it to Biloxi. Biloxi's banged up, and that's why my initial pick was Biloxi. Like, I'm going with Biloxi, and then I went back to St. Martin. Then I went back to Biloxi. I said, Biloxi's, they usually beat St. Martin. I say usually, I just can't go based on that. But once I heard how many injuries the Indians had, that's when I went back. And St. Martin is a decent team. I don't have them making the playoffs. I didn't have them beating Biloxi as far as predicting the region. I didn't have them beating Biloxi, but they did. Will they make the region playoffs? I don't know. It would take at least 3 wins, if not 4, to make it. And so they just, of course, got the win. They got at Gulfport, D'Iberville. I don't see them right now beating Gulfport, D'Iberville. Yes, they should beat Harrison Central. They have an off week on Halloween night. That is St. Martin, and then they will host Ocean Springs. Anything could happen, but you're asking what I feel right now. I would say they're not going to beat Gulfport. They're not going to beat D'Iberville. They'll beat Harrison Central, and they won't beat Ocean Springs. That is 2 wins. That should not get you into the region. But here I'm saying something on October the 3rd, and we still got games to play. They play them on the field, and they won't. I'm not here to decide, but that's what I'm here for, is to tell you what I feel will happen. And again, the predictions I made the other week, I had Ocean Springs winning and not losing a game. What they do, they lose tonight to a Gulfport team that played great, 41-28. So that was a great win there for Gulfport. So I'm going to try to see about getting some guest on for Hunter Dawkins comes on.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
So let me see if we can get. But come with your questions. If you have any questions, certainly ask them. We just went over the top 10 there. Again, the final scores, my game predictions, I was 10-2, losing the Gulfport and the Poplarville game. That's all on there. And if you want other high school sports, all the other high school sports, Coast High School Sports is my other Facebook page that I have, and that covers all the other sports. I don't do rankings on there. I share a lot of the information. I'm just there so you don't have to go follow all those pages. I'm there for you. And the hat that you see, the visor I have a few more left. I ordered just a handful of visors that has Coast Football on it. And if you want one, DM me. I'm only charging you, making I think $3 or $4 off of a visor. $28 is what it costs, and it's only in red now. So I was looking at getting white and blue. If you're interested, certainly please DM me, and I'll see if I'll find a way to get you the visor. Again, it's a nice fitting visor. I definitely like it. Sport Tech. It is very comfortable in that. So we do have those visors for sale.
Don't pull. I'm on my way.
As far as the All-Stars that were selected, the North-South and the Bernard, Mississippi-Alabama game, of course, we had Johnny Mims on the other day. I'll share that video tomorrow. I did cuts of it this morning. It's on our timeline. You can go to our page. If you to go to it, and in fact, they're showing the highlights there. To go to the photos, if you want to see photos or videos, you can go to our photos. These are all our photos here. The ranking, the stats for the state, stats for 7A, 6A, 5A. I mean, it has all who's in the regions. It's all, you can go there and look at their photos that we have there. But I wanted to see, I saw that they were sharing the highlights, because that's what I'll do, is share the WXXV highlights.
Hey guys.
And that's what I'm fixing to do. Let me see.
Go.
And you got, okay, you can see it. Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Let's watch this. This is about a minute and a half.
First, Parker Nettles connects with Ocean Springs Greyhounds. Admirals looking to strike first. Parker Nettles connects with Camden Morgan. He's got a bit of room for a gain. Big third down coming up, though. Nettles, he's scouting the field. He's looking around. He's ready to roll. And what a gutsy shot to Jayon Pollard in traffic. That moves the chains. Calls for Cooper Crosby to get the handoff here, and he makes that Hounds defense pay. Helmets literally coming off. Can anybody stop this absolute tank on the ground? Quick little pitch here from Nettles to Pollard. And that boy, hey, look at him. He can move. He pushes a defender away and takes it all the way down inside the 5. You might say that play is so fast on this Mean Girls Day. So far, Ocean Springs hasn't had an answer. Crosby getting the handoff on the goal line here, and he powers his way forward, still standing through that line. Early 6-0 lead for Gulfport, and they're flying. OS looking to respond. Handoff to Solomon Baggett for the short gain, but he's met pretty quickly here. Big third down here. Chalmers Berglund drops back pass, but he's taken down, and it's fumbled. Greyhound's able to grab it, but they will have to punt away. You know what? They'll boot this one, but whoa, wait. The punt is blocked. Gulfport scoops it up and crosses the goal line. That's a 13-0 lead in the first quarter. Ocean Springs trying again. Baggett gets the handoff, but Nick Strickland makes the big old takedown. He's a pumped-up kid. And the Greyhounds still struggling to get the run game going. Another third down stop by the Admirals right here. And Gulfport gets its first district win and takes down an undefeated Ocean Springs team. That final score, 41-28.
All right, Miss White, it is Finish the Lyric Friday. You ready?
Okay.
All right. So did you guys? Well, I don't know what happened. What happened to my camera? Wonder what happened, because I'm assuming you guys can't see me, or can you hear me or see me or nothing? Boy, it's just not going good here tonight. No idea.
I'm going to pause it actually.
Can you guys hear me?
I don't even care that I spent all my gold on that thing. It was worth it.
I have no idea what happened to my camera.
Now that I have 44, bro, I can speak so much speed now. Look at me, bro. Yeah. It's like,
Test. I know you can hear me.
Yeah, no.
There we go. Let me see.
What's going on, my friend?
Can you hear me, see me?
Yep, I got you. Can you hear me?
Man, I mean, it's just crazy. I was showing the highlights.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, good deal. Good deal.
Uh, I'm trying to get the link sent to them. Let me see.
Green. Good job. How?
Man, so how you? Let me see if it works. I know you were at the game, the Gulfport game.
Yes, sir. And I just drove by the office to pass, and they just there was a couple of people beforehand. The bus is still not back yet, but yeah, it was some interesting games tonight, my friend.
Yes, yes. I was going over the finals as I'm trying to get Coach on, and he's saying the link is. I mean, I don't know, but yes. I mean, you were there calling the game. I mean, Cooper Crosby 5 rushing. Was all rushing touchdowns? I know he had 5
Yep,
touchdowns.
5 rushing touchdowns. That's correct.
So here we're going to bring. So we'll have him some questions here. We're going to bring on Coach Pinnock from Gulfport. Welcome to the live stream show, Coach Pinnock.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, that's great. I got Hunter Dawkins here with me. Of course, he calls Gulfport games, and I mean, I watched the game, and you guys just dominated from start to finish. I'm sure there was some mistakes in there, but Cooper Crosby 5 rushing touchdowns. I mean, how was this game different from the past 2 years?
Man, just able to get the running game going. You know, the first 2 years they did a phenomenal job of really stopping the running game, and last year we probably went away from the running game too soon, and I mean they did a great job defensively both years, and then man, we're just committed to it. I thought we had a really good plan. I thought we had some things that I felt like we could execute, and then kept them off balance with the throw game with Parker Nettles delivering the football and made some huge throws tonight. And so I thought outside of the first series we only went 3. That's the only time we went kind of 3 and out. So we really played on their side of the field for a good portion of the game.
Yeah, so Coach, you got that. No, go ahead, Hunter.
Coach, minus a few defensive or minus a few explosive plays, your defensive line was stout tonight. They were stout.
Yeah, no doubt. And credit to their running back, man. That guy's a load. He did a great job breaking off some big runs and some explosive plays and all that. And so, but I thought we did a great job. We put in some coverages that were more specific to them this week. And I got to give credit to Zach Green, man. He's an awesome defensive coordinator, man. He does a great job kind of studying himself and then knowing kind of what the chess match back and forth. I mean, him and Coach Bramlett used to go at each other every day, and that was some of the better battles, during our time when we were Ocean Springs, is those two, kind of matching wits. And, I thought he did a great job tonight eliminating their big tight end, Bergelin, who is just, is such a weapon for them. And then, obviously you give up a little bit, but I thought we played relentless tonight on the defensive front and got after the passer and really shut down the running game as much as we can, minus the big plays.
Yes, Coach, you did. As far, with Solomon, he had 4 touchdowns himself, but again, Crosby, 5 rushing touchdowns. I mean, how's it? I mean, again, you coached at Ocean Springs for a couple of years there, won the region titles there, then go to Gulfport, played them 2 years, didn't win. I mean, I don't want to say is it a monkey off your back, but I mean, you finally got the win in Ocean Springs, stopping 5 games.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to pull any punches. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun hearing the comments and reading it all every time we lost, and that whole deal. I mean, because people weren't great about it, and but it's more of a credit to our guys. I mean, obviously you go in and we in Ocean Springs has played a couple of home games, and you go into that atmosphere, and they do a tremendous job putting a football game on, and you see teams have unforced errors, and they do a lot of things that are uncharacteristic of them and kind of get swamped up in the game. And I thought we talked about our guys like that a lot. We try to prepare as much as we could for it and for what that is. And so I thought our guys played in the moment and just keep making our plays. Thought we had a great game plan. And as you're seeing, I mean, you're 2 plays away for us being, 5-0 and being ranked in the top 5 and all that other stuff. And, it's what it is. And ultimately it's the results that matter on that aspect, but it's not necessarily the gap between you being a great football team there, right? And so, the biggest part of us the last couple of weeks has just been playing, within ourselves. We dropped 2 or 3 touchdowns against Petal. That should have been a 2-score touchdown game. Ended up we losing the game at the last play, and so things like that just keep building, getting better. And I think that our guys have kind of taken that on and really did a good job just kind of controlling their assignments tonight.
Yes, because go ahead, Hunter.
Go ahead. Well, Coach, what I was going to ask you was, because I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks, when I saw the effort that you guys had against Pascagoula, and it was like a building block, and that was something with your team. If they're on the field and they can compete and they can put themselves out there, it looked like that you can't really slow them down as long as they're making the right plays for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter, we got some guys that play with a ton of passion. Not the biggest dudes, man. We're not gonna have all the stars and the offers and everything else like that, but they play their tails off, and they do a really good job. We're kind of right there towards the end. We were lurking a little bit, had a couple of growing issues, and had a couple of things. So we had some guys at the second and third level that were out of the game. So they kind of allowed them to get back in there and make a couple of big plays. But I think. The way that we're putting together. I mean, the one big aspect of it is, right, it's a big win. It's a great time. It's going to be an exciting time to, enjoy the win and all those things. It's one game. We're 1-0, right? And we got several more games that we're going to have to play. They're going to be big football games to do what we want to do in the region.
Yeah, Coach Brayman, like I say, you were, with the Picayune game right there with the interception late as you were going in for the go-ahead score, and then I could have sworn you made that field goal against Petal, but the referee saw
you and me both. Yeah, you and me both. That was the craziest dynamic ever. As you see everybody on the Gulfport side screaming and hollering, yay, excited, and on the Petal side they do the whole surrender cobra thing, and then immediately it flips. And so that was one of those things, trying to get over the hump, man.
Yeah, or like you said, you would be 4-0, and then now, or 5-0 now. Beating Osha Springs. Of course, next week, the high-flying Yellow Jackets who just took out Biloxi at Biloxi is coming to Gulfport. And, of course, we just mentioned about the 2 close losses, both at home. So, yes, I know you're fixing to go out and enjoy this win. And so when do y'all actually start to look at next week? Sunday is when you start, okay,
we'll trade film with them here in just a bit, actually. Coach from St. Martin just hit me up about it, and we're going to go ahead and trade them up. We'll get it all going. Start looking at it tomorrow. We'll enjoy Saturday and all that, and then we'll meet up here on Sunday, which, I got to do the Miss Isle stuff on Sunday, so I'll be on the road all day Sunday trying to get back as quick as I can to start on the game plan. But we'll get rolling on them Saturday night, Sunday morning, and then get it. We did a good job. I'll say this: a credit to my staff, credit to our players. The way we handled intercession, I thought last year we got worse as a football team at during intercession. We took one 45-0 against Brandon on the chin, and I don't think we ever really recovered. And so, for our guys to do the things we did, we talked to a lot of people, did a lot of things to try to make sure we put the right schedule together to maximize our time. And I think that's what helped us tonight as well.
Yes, most definitely there. And congratulations on making the coaching staff. You're the quarterback coach.
Quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. I know it's been a lot of talk on how to select those teams. I thought you talked to Johnny Mims as well, and that stuff is a lot more difficult than what people think it is. And but it's I think we have a really good team. Alabama has a really, really good team, so it's going to be exciting to do that in Hattiesburg.
Yes, that's why I wanted to bring them on, because fans may not know the whole process. That's and right. How some players might not make it because their grades or something happened in school or a coach didn't nominate them. So there's different ways, but great to have you on the staff along with other coaches on the Mississippi Owl game, and then North and South. So, but
Well,
we're gonna go ahead, Hunter.
Matt, as I was going to tell you, and I know Coach Pinnock, I hadn't talked to you about this, but this was a lot of Coast kids this year on Mississippi Alabama All-Star game.
Yeah, it was. That was exciting. I didn't realize how many players we actually had on the thing, because kind of as we do it as our staff, we really only select kind of our position, and let the other coaches handle that aspect of it. But I was excited when they told me about how it was 13 is the number, or 12 or something like that. That's
Right,
really
yeah.
exciting, and I think it's a lot of credit to the way that programs right now are developing players, and obviously it's a great class this year, and it could have easily been more players. Absolutely, if that would have felt that way. So it's exciting for coach football right now.
Yes, it definitely is. I believe it was 11 players for both for North and South.
Yeah, that's
the South.
exciting. That's really exciting.
So it is. So, but I certainly appreciate you taking the time. Like I said, I know you're gonna. Do you go to a certain location, like a Waffle House, as some people do, or do you go?
Yeah.
Celebrate?
Well, where we're going, they ain't selling waffles.
Okay.
It's a good time. Our coaches work really hard, and they do a tremendous job, and they do a lot during the week. And so to get a chance to relax and blow off some steam after a big win is always a good time.
Yeah, especially again a win tonight of this caliber. And like I said, I know you'll start to prepare for St. Martin coming in next week, and maybe we'll see a South State Championship, Ocean Springs and Gulfport. That would be something.
Shoot, man, you'll sell some tickets to that
there.
thing. Yeah, you'll sell some tickets to that thing. But
so I
we'll
certainly
take
appreciate
one game
you joining us, and again, congratulations. I know it's one game you're 1-0, but the outer scope of it is against the team with Ocean Springs, and Ocean Springs we know that. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be just fine. They'll be on a roll here in a little bit. They probably like to have it, to be honest with you, after just to get the players back in check and get them rolling again. But that'll be that's tonight doesn't really define them.
Correct. So
all right, Coach.
All right, man.
Yes.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach Bam. Coach Pinnock. So, yes, Coach Pinnock with Gulfport. I mean, yes, it was a great win. Like I say, 2 years in a row, he has lost to a team that he coached the 2 region titles. And, yes, the fans, have their ways, that, hey, you left us, or not all the fans, but some of them. And for him to get that win tonight was great, and they dominated. Like I say, they had 20-0 lead. Now they did come back 20-14, the Greyhounds, and Coach Bramlett, will have that team ready. Now he has a week to go to D'Iberville, who's took care of business with West Harrison tonight. There, it was a 25-7 win there. I missed the 2 games. I missed Gulfport and I missed Poplarville losing to Macomb, which I was going to pick Macomb, and they're playing at home, but Poplarville, they did lose 35-34. But certainly appreciate Coach Pinnock joining us there at Gulfport, as he's going to celebrate as he should. But then, like I said, to get ready for a St. Martin team that's confidence. I know they came off a loss against West Harrison, losing late, but to go to Biloxi and to get that 28-24 win is very, great for their confidence there in St. Martin, and a much needed win. If they can go in there and beat Gulfport, man, that would be something there, Hunter. So I don't know if you saw any other scores, or if you're surprised by any other scores, Hunter.
I was really surprised by not so much the results, but a lot of scores, from what I heard about the Pass Christian Greene County game. That was a lot of penalties called, a lot of insurmountable things, but Pass Christian did pull it off 28-14 from what I understand. And there was also the Forest County Moss Point game that apparently went into 3 or 4 overtimes, and Forest County ended up winning, but it was a lot closer than what I thought. And
yes.
And then, of course, the D'Iberville West Harrison game. I wasn't surprised by that, but I was a little bit, as we talked about. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer.
No, get back on.
There's a few other ones that I was just a little bit wondering what was the result? Why things happened that way? But I'm not gonna lie, as I told you last night when I predicted the Gulfport victory, I knew that there was something that they had. I'm not saying that that I predict everything like this, but I saw that team against Pascagoula. I saw what they were coming out with, and I also saw a little bit of Ocean Springs past game film, and they didn't really look to me to be that much of a. They looked to be very similar to Gulfport in at least the way they played, except Gulfport was very good at ground pound, down pulling the trenches, busting the trenches up. And I didn't know if Ocean Springs could handle it, and obviously they couldn't tonight.
Yeah, it was just like I say, an off night, I would say, for Ocean Springs, but a great night for, again, Gulfport. I said with Ocean Springs with the block, they had 2 block punts. Ocean Springs, Gulfport had against Ocean Springs. So it was a night for Gulfport. Now we'll see, not saying they're in control because they, D'Iberville and them are tied for the region lead. So, and they'll face there in a couple weeks, but Gulfport will again host St. Martin, and Ocean Springs will go to D'Iberville.
It makes the district wide, or makes the region wide open now. That's the big thing, and that's one of the things that I think Gulfport's got to really make a statement next week against St. Martin, because if they can make that statement, then they're in the driver's seat.
Yes, Biloxi led that game at halftime, 17-14. I showed some of the highlights there, or tried to, that was sent to me there by Dominic Robinson. Appreciate him sending that to me, where, again, Biloxi led 17-14, and then St. Martin took over, and Biloxi still had a chance to actually win the game there late. They fall 28-24. I mentioned, again, Macomb beating Poplarville 35-34. That was their first region game, and I believe the winner of that game is going to win the region. Macomb wins that one. Poplarville will be fine, and they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's surprising because, I've never seen, as we talked about, Matt, neither you or I had really ever seen Macomb, as far as coming out.
Yes. And then I did watch some of the live stream before. Again, they were playing at Greene County, talking about Pasco-Christian. It was freezing up. I was able to watch it to halftime, and it was 14-14 at halftime. Of course, Ryland, is it Shoulder? Is that how you say his name?
Yep, Ryland Shoulder.
He scored to make it 20-14, and then Cecil Lozana, is that
Cecil Lozana?
Yeah, he got a touchdown.
His grandfather was on the school board for a long time. So, yeah, Cecil Lozana Sr. Yep. So I definitely know that family very well.
Yeah. So they both got into the end zone there, and it was a great win for Pass. Like I say, I believe whoever won that will win the region. And then with the next game, because the other team that I thought was the top 3 was Greene County, Pasco-Christian, and who else? Forest County. Well, Forest County went to 5 overtimes with Moss Point, and of course Moss Point struggling. Wow. They won their game against St. Stanislaus, but St. Stanislaus just is not up to it. They're struggling themselves. But Moss Point, I had it 34-20, and they went to 5 overtimes, and they had again Larry Mixon, Mixon on X was keeping me updated, where they had combined 8 turnovers in the first half, or it was crazy what had happened.
But that wasn't any score, was there? Was it 0-0 through 5 overtimes, and then?
Well, they finally scored. Forest County did finally score. I was trying to see. Let me see if he tagged me in that final on how they scored. I might have to look them up to see. Let me see. Aggies quarterback Sean Walker ends the madness with a 1-yard TD run in for 5 overtime. So, 6-0. Wow. County wins. And again, he mentioned earlier about 8 turnovers like in the first half. I mean, it was just not very good football. And that was, again, a 5-team region. And so I go back to Pasco-Christian beating Greene County. They're in the catbird seat. You want to say, trying to win their first region. And I said they were going to win their first region this year. And right now they have control of that, even though they're tied with Forest County. And you look at it, you say, well, Forest County just barely beat Moss Point. Moss Point, Coach Jenkins, their new head coach, has certainly got that team, feeling confident. And I picked against them tonight. I wouldn't have minded if they would have won tonight. And I don't mind if a coach team wins and gets my pick wrong. So that's why I say Pass Christian has in the driver's seat next week. In fact, they're hosting Forest County AHS, and then they'll host Moss Point, and then they'll host West Marion. So 3 straight home games for the Pirates, and then they'll go to Bay, who Bay is lost tonight, to Hancock pretty badly there. So Greene County does lose, go to 1-1. I still believe right now it's going to be between Moss Point and Bay on who gets that final playoff spot. Again, 5 teams in the region, but again, Shoulder, and then I mentioned Cecil Lozano scoring. Of course, Trevelyan, he did pretty good tonight. I don't know. I don't have his stat.
Paris. Yeah, I'll get those pretty soon from Coach Stansbury, the offensive coordinator in Pass, and I'll let you know. So.
Yes, and then we go to Presbyterian Christian PCB. Of course, their first region game at St. Patrick. They're 3-2. St. Patrick 2-3. I had mentioned that the Bobcats had lost 6 straight road games. Well, they won tonight. In fact, they shut out St. Patrick 36-0. That's St. Patrick's 3rd shutout of the season that they've been shut out. So they lose 36-0. Their PCB gets the win, and the Fighting Irish will move on to next week. And where are they at West Marion is St. Patrick. Again, if they could beat West Marion, they can be in the playoffs, but I don't know if I see them beating West Marion. I haven't looked into it. So
just between you and me, I think that region, the 4th place in that region is going to come down between St. Patrick and St. Stanislaus. So that's just my call. So whoever wins that game will be the 4th in the playoffs in that region.
And St. Stanislaus is, again, we'll get to that. They were struggling there. Resurrection in 1A Region 3, that's a region game. They went to Richton, and they did lose 28-7. I had it 34-16 Richton. They did win 28-7. Resurrection is obviously 0-1 now in the region, and Resurrection will host Taylorsville next week in their second region game.
That's a tough one right there, my friend. Taylorsville's won a couple state championships. It's going to be a tough one. So.
It is. And again, I mentioned I have to see the highlights tonight. Last week they didn't have many subs to come in there. Yeah. Last week, that is Resurrection. Taylorsville, actually this season, they just won last week their first game. They've been shut out against Heidelberg. Riley, they lost 54-0, 46-0. But I don't look at their records on how good those other teams they played.
I just meant that historically, Taylorsville's got a pretty solid team historically.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they do. And the non-region games we get to, again, Stone had a 42-0 halftime lead against the Rockachaws there at the Rockachaws homecoming, and they went on to win 42-7 to win that game. And again, I said it was a get-right game for the Stone because they will start region game next week. They got shut out last week by George County, so Tomcats needed this win, just to bounce back. Their quarterback is back from injury, and I have them next week. Where do I have them? At Stone. Will host Wayne County up there at Perk. That's where they play their home games at MGC until the stadium is for next year. So
I heard there was going to be a stadium built out there sometime, but I don't really know why Stone County would want to leave the Perks field. So.
Yes, that is a very nice field. I'm sure they do. Obviously, would think they pay money, to use that field. So that's why, and they don't use the Bulldogs locker room, which is nice. They don't use their locker room, but good win for Stone. Now they'll host Wayne County. Wayne County, I believe, is they're struggling this year. They did make the playoffs last year, and they're always a tough team. And looking at their record, in fact, yes, they are 0-5, and they were off tonight. So Wayne has a week, 2 weeks to prepare as they will travel to Stone County next week. And the other game, non-region game, South Jones 5-0 does defeat Long Beach at Long Beach 36-7. South Jones goes to 6-0, and Long Beach goes to 1-4. Again, a non-region game, so Long Beach will prepare next week. And where is Long Beach at next week? I have them at Gaucher.
I was gonna say I think they're at Gaucher. Yep. So, which that'll be an interesting matchup because I didn't think, from what I heard, that Gaucher didn't have so much so far. But maybe you can tell me different. I don't know.
No, Gaucher. They have they got some good players. I mean, will they make the playoffs? I have them making the playoffs. They are 2-3. They lost to D'Iberville, who is undefeated. That was a tough game. West Harrison was undefeated. They lost to them 47-17. They did beat Moss Point 37-0, and they lost to Greene County 24-21. They were off tonight, so they lost to them last week in a non-region game. Were they looking ahead to be off this week because a non-region game they don't want to lose, but so I feel that Gaucher will be in the playoffs along with Picayune, Pascagoula, and Gaucher. Those are the three teams. Who will be the fourth team? I think maybe leaning at PRC because you have PRC, Long Beach, Hancock are the three teams for that fourth spot. But they do lose tonight. That is Long Beach. Hancock gets a good win tonight. Their first win of the season, 48-6 at Bay High. Bay High does, start off now 0-5, and the Hawks, get their win. I have them winning 44-34. They did their part in the 48, but Bay High just struggled and just was able to put up 6 points. So they're 0-5, the first time since 2018. Bay High moves to 0-5, and next week Bay High will be at Moss Point. So that's a Moss Point obviously just coming off that 6-0 loss. So we shall see what they have there as far as, because you cover Hancock and Bay High, do you not?
Yeah, I do cover a little bit of the Hancock County area when I'm needed. But like I told you before with the Keenan kid, he was a pretty stout quarterback for that system, and I think he's going to take advantage of it. I'm hoping them get far along, but I don't know how far Hancock is going to be able to make it with just one player. So.
Yes, and like I said, their defense played great tonight. Against the struggling Bay High team has lost 5 in a row, and now, like I say, Bay High will play at Moss Point next week, and then then the last game, which is I don't know, I had it as a non-region game. It is a region game. Well, it's a MIAS Region 3, and that's Christian Collegiate Academy against Chef, as they call them, which is Christian Home Educators Fellowship Football. So they call them Chef, or however you want to pronounce it, Chef. We'll call it Chef. I'm sorry. 28-14. I had them winning 49-6. Both teams were 0-6. So, Chef is from Louisiana.
I'm proud of CCA for finally scoring at least double-digit points.
That's what I was going to say. They did score some points the other game. They're just struggling. I mean, as I said, with Coach Spinks, I believe it is, we mentioned they were at the media days, and we had mentioned that they were kind of forced into going into 11-man football. They said if you had 50 or more students in your school, and they are just over 50 from what he said, then you would have to go
to 11-man football.
You would have to go to 11-man football. So, and again, that's 50 students, not 50 players. So they're struggling there, but they did score 14 points and did lose tonight, 28-14 on that. So that is the 12 games that were played tonight. Again, I went 10-2. The top 10 teams, posted on Facebook. The streak ended with Ocean Springs tonight with 25 game region winning streak. Hey, Picayune, I'll post that next week. Picayune has their 2 streaks going, and that is, I don't know my headset. Picayune has a 22-game road winning streak, and then they also have the 24 straight region wins, which they were off tonight, and then they'll carry that over to Pascagoula. But I'll post that there with the week to come. Tomorrow, of course, I'll do the hot or not, and then I'll do the fan talk, which is always great. Fans come on and comment, and I always usually respond. They say, "Hey, what about this game or that game?" I either do it Saturday or Sunday, just depends on my timing. And then again, Tuesday we'll have the Tuesday top 10, and then we're not looking already at week 7 because we still want to take y'all in tonight's games. And certainly appreciate you joining tonight, Coach Pennock here. And we're trying to bring some fans on. And again, I shared some videos there of as I was trying to share my the WXXV. I was doing the highlights there. In fact, let me see.
Just a quick word for you, Matt. Of all of Gulfport's wins have all been on the road, so they are currently 3-0 on the road.
Yes, and they're 0-2 at home. So again,
but both of their losses, neither one is larger than 3 points. They got a 1 point loss and a 3 point loss. So.
Yes, they could have easily had taken the. Let me see here. If you can, they easily could have. Let me share the screen here. Okay, Hunter, you can see that screen, right? Let me see.
Yeah.
You check because when I'm blowing up the picture, so I cannot see it. So I'm gonna play it. This is Pastor Christian. So you tell me for one. Let me see if you can hear. Let me play just a snippet.
Coming into week 6 trial.
Can you hear that when I just play?
I can hear it. Yep.
Okay, so let's watch this. And the fans watch.
To Leakesville for a big district battle against the 4-1 Greene County Wildcats. A win in this game could very well determine the Class 4A Region 8 district favorite. So let's see who got that dub and roll some of those highlights. First play here for Pastor Christian, QB1. First, Villian improvises and scrambles for a nice gain and a first down on that Wildcat defense.
That was design zone read.
Harris throws a quick screen to the receiver outside for another decent gain right here. But then a couple plays later, right after this, Parrish once again using his feet, showing off those legs, getting out of trouble, outracing everyone for a Pirate touchdown right here, man. Look at this guy. He just gotta love the emotion right here, man. He's a cool guy out there. Just electrifying right there. The Wildcats, of course, want to answer. So they get the ball and they hand it to their big guy, number 25, Noah McLeod, for a tough run. Next play, they go right back to that run game, this time to the outside, inching closer to that end zone. And 2 plays later here, they give it right back to Noah again, and he uses that size and bulldozes his way for a touchdown. The Pirates would get the ball back and try to go ahead and strike back real quickly right here after that little celebration right there. But number 0 says not today because number 11, their big receiver, is trying to get them a good little catch right there. But Tyrion McLeod says not today. Great coverage and shuts that down. Next play, Paris throws a quick pass for a first down. And then right after that play, they go to their big-bodied wide receiver, Dwight Thomas, who makes a strong catch and will not be stopped for a touchdown right there. The second quarter was nearing a close one, and the Wildcats find a quick connection to number 3, Brady Bolton, for a nice gain along the sidelines. Then a few plays later right here, Gage Stinson, he's going to go ahead and drop back, and he decides to go deep this time to Brady Bolton. And again, he almost loses that football right there. It was a scary moment there for the Wildcats, but they called that down after the catch. And then the Wildcats line up right after that and punch it in right into the end zone for a score. Gage Stinson to tie that game 14-14 before halftime. But in the end, it would not be enough for Greene County as the Pirates offense kept putting up those points in the second half. And we leave out of Leakesville with a dub and certainly looking like the favorites right now in Class 4A Region 8 District. Great job, Pastor Christian.
Welcome to.
So
Yeah, I mean, once again, Paris, is easily, in my opinion, now under 5 and 6 and 7A among the 1 through 4A schools on the coast. He's easily the best quarterback, not only with his arm but with his ability to get outside the pocket and take either on a zone read play or on a scramble or a draw. He's the best athlete. So.
yes, I agree. He's obviously not a senior, so
No, he's a junior. He's been playing since he was a freshman. So yeah, he's good.
yeah, he definitely is. Let me see about this.
And in track,
Go ahead.
he's a state. He's in the state championship every year in the state long jump. So he's a multi-sport athlete. So
That's awesome there. Let me see, because we're gonna do another one here. Is my screen? Let me see, because I haven't seen this one, but I'm curious because this is the
Second 7A showdown takes us to a thriller in Biloxi with the 1-4 Indians welcoming the 4-1 St. Martin Yellow Jackets. Both teams looking for their first district win. Biloxi leading 17-14 to start the third, looking to keep pounding with this completion from Jordan Ramsey to JoJo Thomas. JoJo Thomas getting the handoff here. He's going to make it to the outside before running out of room. Ramsey cooking, looking to take it himself, and he does. Check out that little stutter step as he pushes forward for the short gain. You know what? He did it once, so he'll do it again. Ramsey continuing to chip away on the field with his fancy footwork. This one for a first down. Indians facing third down now, going to their dual threat quarterback again, and he just gets it. He just gets it over there. First down, Biloxi. Fresh out of downs. Thomas getting his time to shine. He moves the sticks. The St. Martin saves the score with a big hit out of nowhere. Ramsey looking to pass here on third down. He stops his man, but talk about the coverage by Caleb Rajput. That's incomplete. But Biloxi, they're being aggressive and going forward on fourth down. Ramsey running for his life and looking near the goal line. The heave is caught, but it's out of bounds. Jackets taking over. St. Martin starting with the handoff. No, I take that back. It's a quick toss to Kevin Marshall. He takes it down the sideline to move the chains. You know what? Now here's the handoff, but Biloxi is all over that, and that runner is stuck. Seth Crockett looking for his man, and he's got him. Dulcie Sullivan not scared of some contact. The freshman giving it his all for the game here. This time, Crockett keeping it himself. He powers forward for the first down here, and it would be a close game. I mean, an incredibly close game here. But St. Martin sneaks ahead late, winning this one 28-24. Second 7.
all right. So you were able to see that one, Hunter?
yeah, it was nice. X6V had that cut pretty short, but yeah, no, I was a little surprised about that though. That was one of the few games I was surprised, not necessarily because of the outcome, but how Biloxi just couldn't take advantage of the opportunity. So.
Yeah, and then again, it definitely has the confidence for St. Martin. After losing that close game last week, and then now winning this close game, this week is really, built. I would think that it has their confidence level real high. And again, they're trying to make the playoffs for the first time, I believe since 18. I believe I looked it up the other day. But yeah, that was, excuse me, a nice win there. We're gonna let me see if I can get this one here. Let me see. Let me see if I can. And let me see.
Don't show him the spot.
Okay, here we go.
The Battle of the Unbeatens or the battle for the second district win, but they're calling it the Battle of Harrison County Schools. The West Harrison Hurricanes hosting the Iberville Warriors. The black and gold get the ball first, and Jordan Wally plays hot potato to Christian Butler to move the chains for the Warriors quite quickly. Now this time for D'Iberville, it's Chan Harvey, turns. He plummets right through the sea of orange. A little stutter step action, and he's home free. Touchdown for D'Iberville. Warriors strike first, 6-0. Point attempt, no good though. But hey, now it is third down for the Canes. Quarterback Demario Davies fakes the handoff and looks for the big old target. That is Tyler Gazier, and he comes down with it. A big first down for West Harrison, but they're unable to do anything after that. Warriors back with the ball, but now they're dealing with an angry Jazir Carter. The all-star stops Harvey in his tracks, showing while he's representing Mississippi soon. Next play, Wally receives a bad snap, and Bryant Corner uses it to his advantage, and it's a turnover on downs for West Harrison. Ball back to the Hurricanes, but not for long. Not quite sure who the pass was intended to, but definitely wasn't supposed to go to Jackson Ramsey. He races to its sideline, looking for a block and gets one. D'Iberville with a huge interception to close out the first quarter. Swapping sides now, a whole lot going on in the backfield, and looking like he was shot out of a cannon is Chan Harvey yet again. The junior is truly having himself a game, and this time continuing that Wally brother legacy is Jordan Wally. They call him champ, and after seeing what he can do with his legs and his arms, I'd have to agree that he's something special. First down for the Warriors now in the red zone. Wally now hands it off to Jalen Johnson. He dives into that end zone. The teams kind of just look at each other, not really sure what the call is, but hey, eventually it is ruled a touchdown for the Warriors. They now lead 12-0. Harvey attempts a 2-point conversion, but he's swarmed by a group of Canes. The score remains 12-0. The Hurricanes get a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but it wouldn't be enough. It's the D'Iberville Warriors keeping their undefeated streak alive, defeating West Harrison with a final score of 25-7. They improved to 2-0 in district and will host Ocean Springs next week. While
Stay up off the ground.
All right. Can you hear me, Hunter?
I got you, Matt.
I guess my battery, my Bluetooth went out, and I don't think my headset that I have, I don't think you'll be able to hear me on it.
Oh no, I got you. You there? I can't hear you now. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying I couldn't hear you for a second. But
Yeah, I was trying to see if this headset worked or not. Because again, I lost my Bluetooth, not lost it. There we go.
okay, I got you now.
Yeah, it's just my. So, anyways, those were some of the highlights that I was sharing. Again, on that I usually do on Facebook, and then I'll share WLOX's tomorrow. Is how I usually do it up, and that's where I look at the games to see what happens in each one. And I know you're there calling Ocean Springs Gulfport, so
Yeah.
you don't.
I was surprised, Matt, to be honest with you, how many teams were off this week. I didn't realize it was that big of a bye week for everybody.
Yes, and it they do it every year. They normally do to get the bye week to prepare for the region games. So yes, I thought there was. Oh, somebody was trying to correct me, or somebody is correcting me, which is fine. Probably on one of the records that I have up there for the finals. But so anyway, so were you able to get a hold of that person, or?
Oh, well, Coach Stockstill, who I kept trying to, apparently they just got back from Leakesville, and he was dropping a bus off. So I don't know if he's going to be able to make it in, the next 10, 20 minutes, but that's obviously because of travel. But
I understand that.
Yeah, no, but I'll definitely be talking to him on Sunday. He'll be a guest on the HD Experience, which you yourself will be on there also, and so he'll definitely be on there with us, and we'll be able to talk a little about what's Yeah. But no, yeah, I just got a text from him. He said, nah. He said, I'm not going to be able to make it tonight, Hunter. But he said, when we'll talk on Sunday, and so that works for me. And you know, I think we can ask some questions about how everything matches up, how the game show up. So.
Yeah, that's understood. I know it's past midnight. We still got almost $1.50 or so on this live stream, which I certainly appreciate the fans joining us here on YouTube at Coast Football, on X at Coast Football, and on Facebook, Gulf Coast High School Football, wherever you guys are watching it at. We certainly appreciate you joining us with this post-game show. We had Coach Pennock on earlier, and then I'll replay the video that I had yesterday with Johnny Mims talking about the process of picking the All-Stars. Because yes, there was players that weren't picked that might have should have been picked, but players should have went to Mississippi Al game and not North South. Being an all-star is great, but I mean that's all. Just trying. I got them on there, and I'm glad that they could have just said no. We were not going to send a representative. Which Johnny, he's not that way. I don't necessarily know him personally.
Yeah.
I met him a couple of times at a state championship game, but for him to come on here and then for him to, I brought in Ainsworth, his father, the offensive tackle there, the 4-star for Biloxi.
Yeah.
And he, it was almost time for him to get off. He said, no, bring him on. So, that was nice of him to say, hey, because he could have said, hey, it's 6 o'clock. He's at a game. But
I tell you what, Matt, I'm more than impressed with the amount of kids from the coast on the Mississippi Alabama All-Star game, because normally every year for the past 25, 30 years, they don't have that many kids on there from the coast. They have maybe about 4 or 5 kids that are predominantly studs. But I mean, I'm not saying the guys that were not selected were not good, but there was an abundant amount, which goes to show why Coast football should be proud of itself, and how, I think we're getting through the call now.
Yes, I believe it's easily double digits. I think it was 11 on each team, because I was trying to list them and then go into AI, which AI is frustrating because I give it the list and I say, give me the players, and then I post the players, and then the fans, as they would, and I hope they do, hey, you don't have this person highlighted as far as above the roster. So I look, I said, yeah, he's there. So I mean, I was counting, and again, I want to say it was 11 from each, and normally it's like 5 or 6 there.
Yeah.
And where there's some players left off that again, that's why I brought them on there to try to explain how it goes. And then somewhat I was not to say surprised, but the coach, depends who the head coach is and his scheme, but the running the coach that runs the ball more, then he may pick player B who doesn't have 3 stars over player A to fit his scheme for the All-Star game, which, I thought, I guess I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to pick the best players available. Okay, what's the best players? Because if you have stars, players
every now and then it's guys that have offers to colleges. That doesn't necessarily mean that they've had a great season to that point, but it's a little bit, I hate to say it, but it is a little bit political when it comes to stuff like that.
It is like that. And so, like, to find out, how it is processed. And again, some players don't make it because unfortunately they, having trouble in school. And then he said, Mim said, there's some coaches that don't nominate it. And he didn't necessarily say, and I couldn't pinpoint him, about having any coaches not nominating a player. But he said there are coaches that don't nominate players, which is kind of not good and kind of odd. He's not going to out them, which is understandable. But so there's different ways on why they're not nominated, and due to injuries, unfortunately, like he said in the thing, they'll probably have some unfortunate injuries, and some players will get the chance to play in one of these games and get offers. We've had players get offers right there after the game. Be it JUCO or D1 or whatever college. So, but that's in December, the Miss Al game, and then the North-South will be in Gulfport once again there. I believe it's December 20th. I believe it is. I posted the dates
Yeah,
on there.
it's usually after the Mississippi Alabama
Yeah,
game. So
yeah, which
I think
is
you're
usually
right
the
about
week
that.
after the state championship games, which is always the first weekend of December or the week after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, which is normally my birthday right there, that weekend of December.
The question about that though now, and I guess we'll find that out later, but since this is probably the last year of the Milner Stadium, at least from a high school perspective, are they still going to have an all-star game there, or are they going to choose another place? That's going to be a good question. So,
Well, he did say, Johnny Mims, the executive director of the Mississippi Athletic Association, Coaches Association, said that it is really given life by having it down here in Gulfport. It's really revived it. Is what he was saying.
sure.
So that's great.
Absolutely.
It's not surprising because it's great to be on the coast. We live here on the coast.
Oh,
Yes.
everybody loves the coast. You know that, Matt.
So I go by and take pictures of the beach and post that I did on TikTok or on Twitter, and say, hey, do you got what a beautiful Gulf Coast we have.
Matt, I've had the governor pretty much tell me time and time again, Hunter, I'm going to buy a house down here after I finish. And they all do, which is funny. But I mean, I'm not saying that they don't love the whole part of the state, a bunch of the politicians that I've seen. But at the same level, everybody wants to live down here. And you and I both know that. So.
Yes. And so he also, asked them about, did they thought about splitting up the 7 classes for all-stars, to go one, go 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 and then 5 and 6 or 6, 7. And he did. He said that they are actually had spoken about it. And he went on again. I'll share the whole interview tomorrow on it. But he said that he talked to another state. I don't know if it was Alabama or South Carolina, some other state where they did split it up. But then they're also going back to what they normally had, 1 game, because it took away. You didn't have enough players that were in the lower classes. I guess
When I used to coach in Louisiana did that for a long time. They had divisions of back. Now this was back before they had the select leagues. This is when it was just straight 5A, and they divided it from 4 and 5A to the 3, 2, and 1A. But now that they have select, it's kind of hard to pick which school is going to go where. So
so that's what he didn't say it was going to happen, but they were looking at happening to doing that. So we shall see. But certainly appreciate you joining us. It's going up on 12:15 here on the Saturday now. But again, just to recap, a great win. Tonight's for Gulfport. At Ocean Springs, again, stopping their 25 straight region wins. The Iredell, the only coast that's a team that's undefeated, 6-0. St. Martin with a nice win at Biloxi. Poplarville does fall to Macomb. Patrick a great road win, 28-14. We saw the highlights here from WXXTV. They're in the driver's seat, as I feel, for the region. The Aggies, Forest County defeat Moss Point in 5 overtime, 6-0. Just going over some of the highlights. Stone takes out Rocket Toss 42-7. And other non-region games, you can check them out on our Facebook page. And then again, the new fresh Coast Top 10. We will have a new number 1 team with Ocean Springs losing. We will have a number 1 team on the coast in our ranking. So that'll come out Tuesday. And then I went 10-2, losing Poplarville. I had them to win. I had Ocean Springs win. So game predictions will come out Thursday. Not live. It was a special live with you and I. I'll be at Pert, in fact. So Gulf Coast will be back in action Thursday there. And where are you going tomorrow, Hunter? What game are you doing?
Well, I'm very fortunate, Matt, tomorrow that Southern Miss, Ole Miss are both on buys. State is in College Station, and as much as I love to follow State around, I got the pass from Super Talk that I do not have to drive to College Station. So it's going to be a little bit of relaxation. I'll still have to cover the game, but I'll be able to get a little bit of work done for the newspaper, so I can be able to make a little bit of cash here and there. But I am going to host the Sunday podcast with the Gazebo Gazette, the HT Experience, and I'm looking forward to having you on. We're going to be an hour later because my producer is going to be on trip, but I'll have you there at 5:10, just like always, and we'll describe what's going on and how everything looks. And I look forward to doing that, my friend.
Yes, I certainly appreciate being on there, and again, I share it on here on Facebook and on X. So certainly look forward to it. So have a good night. And week 6 is in the books. We're still gonna kind of not turn the page yet on week 7,
Yep.
but a great night tonight for a lot of teams, and everybody still in the region hunt. It's just one game in it. Some teams 2 games into it. Even if you're 0-2 like Biloxi, they're off next week. There are 4 games left. They are certainly there in the hunt for the playoffs. So appreciate the fans. The best fans are right here at Coast Football. And I'm Matt Stats, and that's Hunter Dawkins there with the Gazebo Gazette. We certainly appreciate you, Hunter, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Take care of yourself, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Hunter.